Alright everyone, so I'm gonna show you how to make a loop in Geometry Dash. I'm gonna show you two kinds. The first one is very easy, the second one is harder. Maybe it's better, but honestly I use the first kind more often. What does a spawn trigger do? Well, a spawn trigger activates another group after a delay. If you put a delay, if you put no delay, it when this trigger is activated, it's gonna activate the group immediately. So what if we put a delay of 1 second? And the group that it activates is the group that the trigger is in. So let's say with another spawn trigger, we activate that one, and once it's activated, it's gonna wait 1 second and then activate the group that it's in. But the group that it's in is itself, so it's gonna activate itself. And what does itself do is wait 1 second to activate itself again. So that's gonna continue forever. So let's just start. Uh, So that's going to be my loop. This trigger there is going to be the loop trigger. We're going to put it to group 1 and it's going to activate group 1. He is inside group 1 and it's going to activate group 1 with a 1 second delay. Now we need to put a spawn trigger. So spawn trigger means that instead of just letting the song play, and when the bar, for example, let's say the spawn trigger was there, if I don't activate spawn trigger, it's only gonna be activated once when the line crosses the the trigger. That's not what we want. What we want is that what what would make him start first is spawn. A spawn trigger will activate him. So no weird song, whatever. And we have to check multi-trigger, because if we don't check that, it's only going to be able to be activated once and never again. So it's not going to be a loop. So spawn trigger, multi-trigger, group 1, and the loop doesn't start yet. If you start, we need to activate the spawn trigger first, at least one time. So it's going to activate group 1. We don't need any delay and nothing. Just you put this before the level start, and this one is doesn't matter. So this trigger will activate this trigger, and this trigger will activate itself infinite times with 1 second delay. So imagine I have a block, because right now we don't see anything, right? If I play this, there's like maybe I'm gonna put a platformer. If it doesn't matter, it can work platformer or not platform. But right now, this trigger right there is activating itself over and over, but we don't see anything because nothing is activated with the loop. So what we can do is we can put a trigger with the same group as the loop. So it not only activates itself, but another trigger as well. And I'm gonna move group 2. So we're gonna put the cube in group 2. Nope, group 2. And let's say move 10 in that direction. Maybe like this, maybe like this. Oh, and everything needs to be in spawn trigger, multi trigger, except the first one to activate the loop first. So you see, you move to the right, it waits 1 second, move to the right, move to the right, move to the right. Why? Because every time every time this trigger reactivate itself, is also activate this one every time, and this is like move to the right, you know, 1 block, right? So that's the first way we make a loop. I mean, you can put whatever in the loop. You can put, I don't know, follow triggers. Follow triggers is really cool because you can't actually make it like activate forever. We used to do that to make it activate forever, but with platformer mode, it makes more sense to just put 1 second and then loop it. Okay, so that's like a very simple loop. But what we can do, which is like pretty nice, is that instead of making only one trigger loop, we can make it, let's remove the group he's in. We can make it so it actually we can make a chain loop of many spawn trigger. So there you go. That's a lot. That's gonna take a bunch of times. So this one would activate group 2. This one will activate group 3. No, wait. What am I doing? 3? Yeah. And this one 4. This one's 5. This one is 6. Oh, and by the way, okay, I did the block. Oh, maybe it doesn't work. Wait, let's remove. So we have spawn triggers. This one spawn 1, spawn 2, spawn 3, spawn 4, spawn 5, spawn 6. So instead of giving the group to itself, this will be group 1. So first of all, I'm gonna remove every group. Okay, there's no group. This one will be group 1. This one will be group 2, because now that this trigger is activated, it's actually gonna activate group 2, which is this one. Yeah, and then this one would activate group 3, which is this one. And this one activate 4. So 4 we're gonna put next one. And 4 activate 5. So 5 gonna be this one. And 6, I'm gonna put the first one at 6. Meaning that this one will activate the first one, and then the first one will activate the second one, and then it's gonna do that, and over. It's gonna do this. There you go. Okay, it's already spawn trigger, multi trigger, both of them. The delay, I'm gonna make it faster, maybe 0.5, I guess. All right. So what's a good way to represent it? Maybe rotate. Yeah, maybe rotate. Not this though. We're gonna rotate a spike. This. Okay, so if there's nothing, as I said, it's currently like it's going crazy when I play the level. But we don't see anything because there's nothing that the loop actually does. So I'm gonna show you with some rotate triggers. Okay, so 5 actually is gonna activate this and this, and like 3, for example, we activate this and this. 4 activates this and this. 5 activates this and this, and then the 6 activates the 2 first. Does it work? Yeah, see? Beautiful loop. And it goes amazing, right? So that's what you can do. But you can actually do better. Even better. Okay, so between all of those, what you can do is you can change the delay. So for example, when it ends the loop, for example, I can do, wait, 5 activate 12. Activate 12. And 6 maybe is gonna be longer. Maybe it's like 2 seconds. So all of these is like only, how long is it? 0.5, and then the last one is 2 seconds. So what's gonna do is that at the end it's gonna wait 2 seconds, and then for some reason, and I can do whatever. Like I can do like this one and this one are gonna be like super short, like 0.1. So it's like, yeah, like it can be whatever. But even better, you can actually do some random stuff. For example, and I'm gonna show you an example. Random. Instead of having a fixed, instead of just having a fixed delay, you can random delay. So you see the lights that are flickering, the, whatever the ones, like the blue ones, or like this yellow one, it kind of flickers, but it's kind of random. Really, sometimes it's long, sometimes it. And the way to do this is that inside the loop, I don't know which one is it. It's these ones. Inside the loop, basically, this one has a very short delay, but then this is the random. So sometimes it's gonna wait 0 seconds. Sometimes it's gonna wait, I don't know, 0.05 or something. But then this one 78, it's actually gonna Yeah, this one makes it opaque. So, and there's another one that would make it like invisible. And this one, the invisible, takes longer, right? Because I don't want the loop, I don't want the light to be mostly closed. I want it to be mostly open, meaning that the open would be very short and very often, but then the closed would be like long. And so that gives a pretty nice effect of flickering. So really should put something slow, right? Anyway, so that's the way you can do loops. There's another way, and it's more complicated, definitely. So we're actually gonna do a visual loop. So let's set some kind of center, whatever is it. I'm gonna place a cool center. Okay, so give a group to your center, and let's place a collision block. And this one. It depends how large you want the circle, but let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe. And then a collision, I can whatever. Collision ID is different than group ID, but then group ID, another group ID. And let's say we've got the rotate trigger. It's gonna take maybe 3 seconds, I don't know. 3 seconds to do one circle of, was it 13? Of 13, of 14. So group 14, we rotate around 13. No easing. But then this one has to be inside a loop himself. So we're just gonna place another 15. 15 is gonna activate himself. Spawn trigger and multi trigger with a delay of 3 seconds. Why 3 seconds? Because the rotate is 3 seconds. So after 3 seconds, it's gonna reactivate the rotate. And I want it to start at the beginning. So let's just put something that's gonna activate it. The loop at the very beginning. No delay, just activate 15. Alright, so both of these are 15, as they should. Spawn trigger, multi trigger, both of these. And so this one's gonna rotate. Yeah, I actually don't see it because it's big, but it rotates around this thing right there. And that's a collision trigger. It's a collision block. A collision block, what's cool about it is that when it's gonna collision with other things, it's gonna activate something. If you put nothing, then it's nothing. Let me, yeah. And so maybe it doesn't matter, like 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe it's there, and then it's like somewhere there. Okay, so one, first of all, it has to be a dynamic block, the one that moves. The other ones doesn't matter. 2, and then 3. So let's say there's a spike somewhere. Next 3, 16, in group 16. So in the group 16, so what I want to do is that when the number 1 touches 2, it's gonna activate. It's gonna activate this to go up, and then when it touches 3, it's gonna go down. For example, like whatever. So let's say let's go fast. 10. Move time. Doesn't matter. 0.25. Ease and out. 16. Spawn trigger, multi trigger. And then 1 goes down. -10. The one that goes down, I'm gonna place it close to its block, because why not? And then we need collision triggers, because right now when one touch 2 and one touch 3, nothing happens because there's no trigger to check the collision. So we actually need to check collision. So block 1 gonna touch 2. When block 1 touch block 2, which is that one, we touch that one, it's gonna activate a new group, which I haven't decided what it is. Let's decide 17, and this one is 18. So it's gonna activate 17, and we need to do activate group. Why? Because if it's not activate group, it's gonna deactivate it. It's gonna toggle off, right? And then this one's gonna activate 18, but then it's when one touch 3, for example. This is just an example, but the basic principle is that you have something like this, and there's a bunch of collision triggers, and it checks the collision, and it rotates. And so that's nice because it's like visual, right? I could like put another 2 as well. Yeah, that looks fun. Another 2, but then there's another 3 or something. Let's try something like that. There's another 3 there, for example. Yeah, the thing with collision triggers is that they're not always activated. They're not always checking. They're only always checking after they're first activated. So I can either put it at the beginning, or I can use some kind of spawn trigger that spawns them. Maybe 15? Nah, it's weird. No, maybe 6. Because I already have triggers, so I'm just gonna put them in 6 and then spawn trigger. There you go. It should do the trick, right? Oh, it moved all of them. Oh, sorry. They're in the group. I need to remove. They all of them are like moving with the rotate, so I just need to remove them from. So only the number 1 moves. Yeah, now it collision. I don't see them. Let me put some kind of zoom out or something. Let's put some zoom out. You see, now you see the loop. When you touch 2, goes down. This way. There's 2 3s, so it's fine. You can put that one. You can actually do better than this because this rotation is like very constant, and maybe you want to change the speed in free time, maybe. So what you can do is that instead of making the rotate loops around itself, we're actually gonna place a collision trigger right side by it, but we can actually make it tiny inside. So it's gonna start a bit in the collision. It's gonna do 1 loop, and when it's gonna go back, it's gonna re-collision 2. No, not 2. We're gonna put another one. 4. Yeah, 4 we haven't used. And so we can use another collision trigger. When 1 touch 4, it actually activates. It actually activates. Let's do a 19. And 19 will be the rotate. And there's a 15. It's gonna be 19. So instead of syncing, it takes 3 seconds to rotate. Instead of syncing like a loop with the time it rotates, it actually syncs with itself, right? When it finishes the loop, it's going to restart the loop. So you can somehow change the speed and not having to change anything else. Works? Does it work? Yeah, when it goes back, it restarts. Amazing. The difference is that now if I want to change the speed, so maybe instead of 3 seconds, it's like 1.5 seconds. The difference is that I only need to change one number. Because back then, with the loop, I needed to change the speed of the loop, the little loop as well. But this one is only with this cell. And you can do a bunch of stuff. So yeah, that's how we do it.